the new Spider-Man actor Tom Holland, his cameo has wrapped for Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
So he's done shooting, whatever it's going to be. You just mentioned a little bit of kind of what you're hoping to see with Spider-Man's role in Civil War. Me, I don't really know how much I want to see, because I want to see Tony Stark and Steve Rogers kind of beat the shit out of each other. I'm interested to see how it differs from the graphic novel. I want to see who's on either side. I don't really know how much I want kind of Spider-Man in there, because originally they were pitting Black Panther to kind of play that Spider-Man role. Because in the comic, you know, Captain America and Iron Man are kind of fighting over Spider-Man. Come to my side, come to my side. And then at the end, he
crazy suit. And,
spoilers for the Civil War graphic novel. Spider-Man, you know, reveals his identity, right? But, you know, he was already an adult, right? So, you know, does that mean that, you know, Black Panther's role gets kind of pushed over?
So that's the thing. Like, if we're doing Civil War, then this Spider-Man should be an established entity. Shouldn't be what we just saw. You know what I mean?
Well, unless they do where they make it where it's like he's part of the Underground Avengers, because Steve Rogers, Captain America, he developed the Underground Avengers, and there's a lot of B-list superheroes, right? So if he puts Spider-Man in there, and it's like the B-list team, and he's coming, exactly,
make room for growth.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like he's pretty much being tossed in a pit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, because some of it just might feel really rushed, because you got to get a lot of stuff in this one Civil War movie, right? They've already kind of the rift between ideology between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers has already been played. You know,
it's introduced.
They sprinkled it really well in the first Avengers. Age of Ultron, they physically were fighting for a little bit there, so that's already kind of there. It's just, you know, you just hope that it doesn't rush to it. Okay, rush to get Spider-Man in there. You know, rush to get him in that suit. Everyone wants to see him in the suit.
That's why I think that at the point in time that he's introduced, it should be like Spider-Man is a very well established character in this, even in this new Marvel franchise, and that he's already in his suit, and it's not like if he were to be in there, it would be a milder.
I agree with you in the world of Civil War. Now, the problem with that, though, is that they want to kind of stick with him in that high school aspect. Stick with him in, like, I think they were talking about the John Hughes like, version of Spider-Man, where you're having this, like everybody has that. Like, when you're in high school, everything's big deal. Like, your prom is a big deal. Your girlfriend's a big deal. The football game's a big deal. Like, every little thing, well, what seems trivial to us is a huge deal for them. And Hughes is perfect at making that grandioseness of.
How do you make a movie about that where, you know,
after doing
when you're hanging with the Avengers and everything else?
So now it's like, it really is that kind of. Now, how do they do it? It's like, but you're right, now it all seems too rushed if you do that, especially if you're using the same character.
Like, it would have to be another film where they establish Spider-Man, but then coming to the Civil War, he's got to be, it doesn't matter if he's in high school or not, they got to make him look like, even if he's a rookie vet, slightly veteran. In his role as Spider-Man, and his understanding of who he is. But still, like, a bit like playful and naive,
Sorry, I think the key for Civil War is setting up the persona of Spider-Man, right? Because if he does get like a solo movie or whatnot, it's Peter Parker dealing with his persona of Spider-Man, dealing with his social life. And that's the truest form of Spider-Man, because you relate to him. Because it's like you're relating to him, because it's like, I have this, I have these responsibilities with my family, I have football, but you know, I still have to develop this kind of relationship and girl.
And this is your your extracurricular activities being a superhero.
Yeah, so right there, if he's in the Civil War and he's Spider-Man, it's like, whoa, okay, I did this great thing. Nobody freaking knows, right? So
I can't take credit for it.
Exactly. So.
And that plays a lot. Like, as a teenager, like you're striving for affection. You're striving for, differentiation, your place. So like that could be, a very interesting character study. Depends on where they take it, right? And the whole thing is now you've got these two. The problem is you've got this push and pull between let's get Civil War out there, and Civil War is ahead on the schedule, is it not? Than the solo Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So now
solo Spider-Man's 2017.
So we got that 2017. So the schedule's working against what we're talking about, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's working against, I think, proper establishment of the Spider-Man character.
Yeah, to include him in Civil War, because you don't want that novice who doesn't even have the costume yet.
Exactly.
They're two things that they're oil and water at that point.
Well, from the same aspect of again, I haven't read the comics but from what I understand of it, you've got the two opposing powers trying to fight over this guy. So it's like why would you fight over somebody who's like a rookie or not even established?
Exactly.
You're not going to fight over them.
It's kind of
whereas in the comic he's already
he's a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. If you're trying to fight for,
and no one knows who he is.
Right now. So now, how can two people fight over him?
Well, maybe it's almost like a Rocky IV. It's like who's gonna train Tommy Gunn?
Yeah, but Tommy Gunn's already.
Even Tommy Gunn, even though he's young, at least he has a name. Even though
he's got already a name, but we're talking about somebody who doesn't have a name yet.
That's true.
And he'll legitimately be a 14-year-old kid.
That's true. And it's like you see all this potential in somebody, and it's like you don't want him to be corrupted by this.
But it's how do you introduce that potential?
And maybe that Peter Parker, that Spider-Man role is supposed to be the audience, and we're looking through Peter Parker's eyes.
I see your point, but it's just very tough. Like, especially if it's going to be a freshman in high school. So you got a freshman in high school, and it's like you can have like the best football prospect in as a freshman, but you're not going to give him a scholarship till his last year, till his senior year. So Spider-Man, if he's running around in his year one or his first year, or just he hasn't established himself as a hero, they're not going to be fighting over him. I don't see Captain America and Iron Man fighting over somebody who's not proven themselves.
Yeah.
That's the main.
He doesn't have the validity, right?
Because unless they're eager to kind of take someone in and under their wing, right? Because they're both going to be eager for that, right? I mean,
But in this time, it's not a time of hospice. It's a time of it's a clutch period, right? They need all the soldiers they can to win. So their faction can win.
All the more reason to bring them on. Then,
right, but they don't know. But bring who on? He's not.
They know.
But I think they know he has so much potential.
Maybe.
So it's like,
but like if he's such a novice that all he's got is his knee pads on and he's in bare feet running around in his mutandis.
I think Steve Rogers sees him as sees Peter Parker as him when he was younger and he was weaker, and he has the potential to be a great leader.
Spider-Man is of such interest in Civil War, right? Because of his legend status, his notoriety, right? And it's because of that it makes it even an interesting bargaining tool.
He's a real important piece.
Exactly, but like without his established lore and legend behind him, you could try to do the same thing, but it would be, I think, a little lackluster. It would be and logical.
I basically see you've got Captain America on one side, you've got Tony Stark on the other side, and they're icons, and they're picking their teams. Pick you, I pick you. I'm not gonna fight over Spider-Man when there's Thor and everybody else there.
In their eyes, he's the kid with the glasses, and the suspenders. That's like, can I play hockey too?
Yeah, and I think that's why. I think that's why. Captain America is going to pick him because nobody sees him and he sees the diamond in the rough.
Maybe. Yeah, I can see if it's something like that. I can see him kind of just falling into somebody's lap. I just don't see them fighting over him.
Yeah,
that's what I don't see.
It'll be interesting how they play it out. There's so many characters in this movie, man.
Right.
From General Ross coming back to the Winter Soldiers. The Winter Soldiers in it.
Yeah. So all the more reason that if there's a greater host of these iconic name characters, that Spider-Man will have to be more established to be believably squabbled over.
Yeah. Well, his cameo's shot. So for the
let's
first.
See what how they do it. Yeah.